Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 29 of Celestial Journey. I like this overview of our base. Can't really make out any detail, but it's, nice and sprawling. There's a bunch of stuff going on here. Anyways, I think between episodes I've crafted all our draconic gear. I did end up making the Staff of Power, and I've enchanted them and upgraded them. So with that, and I think I have two max draconic flux. Well, they're not maxed yet, technically. Flux capacitors, I think, can take one more upgrade. It doesn't show it here, but they can have RF capacity is the only upgrade that has chaotic tier. The actual value of the upgrade is very low. Anyways, so in full draconic gear now, I think we're ready to go fight the Chaos Dragon. Now I've also upgraded the pack, so plus tick is gone. Which means our laser gun is no more. Womp womp. But such is as it is. At this point, I think the draconic bow can completely take over for the laser gun. So there's a couple things I want to do today, but let's start by going to fight the Chaos Dragon. So the Chaos Dragon spawns in the end. I didn't know it rained in the end. It's probably just because I'm flying super fast and lagging. Anyways, it spawns in the end at coordinates where X and Y are multiples of 10,000, with the obvious exception of 0, 0, because that's where the main island is. So I'm flying towards X0, or X and Z, not X and Y. I'm flying towards X0, Z, negative 10,000. And I'm easily outpacing world generation, so I hope I don't disconnect when I get there. But hopefully there'll be a Chaos Island waiting. Whoa! Flew into an end city. Oh look, an Elytra. If you're curious how fast the Staff of Power is as a pickaxe when it's fully upgraded, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm like 90% sure I can speed mine obsidian. Oh no, I can't. It takes a couple seconds to mine obsidian, or maybe not a couple seconds, a couple ticks to mine obsidian. Darn. Well, I can speed. Oh, I can't even speed mine. Wait. Oh, I can speed mine this. Okay. Anyways, yeah, it's very good. And that's in 1x1 mining mode. Let's see. In maximum mode, it's 11x11x11 mining. I have AoE safe mode on, which is a thing that makes it so that it won't break block or tile entities. That way, if I accidentally click in my base, it won't, mine the whole base. So, like, it probably won't mine here because, yeah, there's tile entities. Anyways, it's not the most practical tool, but if you want to use the Staff of Power as a tool, it has various configurations that you can, make it a workable tool that works at a reasonable speed, right? You can configure like the AoE speed, yada yada yada. Anyways, I was flying so fast I flew past the island. I'm pretty sure this is it here. We can see it, and there's the Chaos Guardian. So step 1, you have to break all these crystals, much like the normal dragon, while dodging his attacks. So you see in the lower left I have like my shielding amount. If that shield gets you, oh, I forgot to. This might be bad. If that shield basically if that red bar, green bar turns all the way red, my shield stops recharging. And if my shield stops recharging, he kills me very quickly. So I meant to give myself some levels so that, hold on. I meant to give myself some levels because I have Last Stand enchant on my gear. And Last Stand will be like a backup if I mess up. It'll basically Last Stand takes levels instead of killing you, but I didn't do that, so I guess now I'm fighting him without Last Stand. I'm also having a very hard time hitting these. Are they dead already? Jeez, I'm getting wrecked. Okay, I know what I need to do. Right now I have it so I don't have my super speed on all the time. It's only speed while sprint. Let me leave a little bit and turn that super speed on. On my chest, let's see, boost on sprint, I want that off. And I think, yeah, that should help. This will let me fly around his shots more easily. Let's put this on explosive to knock these out. I like how there's like a red pillar to tell you that you killed it. Ow. That hurt. Wait, maybe I didn't. Maybe that's not what the red pillar is. I definitely killed this one. No, it's still not dead? How's it still not dead? How's it still healing him? Can they only be knocked out by melee attacks? No, that one's just bugged. Well, that's excellent. We'll come back to that. I think I got all the... No, there's still a few left. I keep pressing the wrong hotkey. I think this explosive shot... Whoa, lag, I hope I don't die. I think this explosive shot actually can't kill these. Ooh, that's not good. So I think the armor has a built-in last stand effect too that just drains power. And that probably drained most of my capacitor to keep me alive. It also appears to have despawned the boss. Oh no, it didn't. There he is. There he is. Alright, cool. Fight continued. Alright, that one's down, 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 down. I guess I can just look at which one's healing him and target those. That might be the last one. No, still a few left. I swear these are respawning. Maybe I'm not crazy. Alright, now it does look like... Once you get all the pillars, the fight's easy. Then you just shoot him. I think the hard part is getting all the pillars without getting killed. Anyways, if it's not obvious, I'm not very good at combat in Minecraft. I'm sure someone could do this fight with half as much gear as me. Alright, there he goes. So he dies, he drops a dragon heart as usual. He doesn't drop the dragon egg, which is a shame. This island contains a fair amount of obsidian, and I mean, I guess if you want obsidian, it's a good place to get it. I think there's also some, after you kill him, yeah, some, you know, I'm going to fly around until these last few orbs despawn so I don't die. But a fair amount of draconium infused obsidian also shows up. So if you want to quarry it, I personally don't care for it. These explosions are laggy. Sorry if the video's a little laggy too. I don't think there's much I can do about it. The lag you see is the lag I see. Alright, anyways, Once you kill the dragon, deep down inside here, let's see if we can work our way down. No, maybe. There's like an opening, and here's where all the draconium infused obsidian is. So let's start by picking that up. All right, inventory's full, huh? I doubt we have any use for this stuff, but it's, I don't know, it's witherproof. And lastly, you want room in your inventory for the chaos crystal. Let's see. I need a mode where I have AoE safe mode off so that I can break it. Here, no tool. That's never gonna mine it. That'll mine it. Alright, so 5 chaos shards. Oh, okay. I thought they only gave 4. Anyways, once you mine it, this place is going to explode. So either stick around and let your armor absorb the blast and watch it, or leave. And we may as well watch it explode at this point. I'm like 99% sure this won't kill us. But won't I be a fool when I'm wrong? And I think it's exploded, but now it's lagging while it generates. Ooh, pretty. You can see the mobs that randomly die. I think this is the same explosion that happens when you blow up a draconic reactor, so maybe we'll end the pack with one of these. You know, dead smack center of our base. Yeah, screw you, Ender Triplets. I like the shape it leaves behind, though. It's very, I don't know, profiled, contoured. Interesting challenge to build a base on this type of terrain, because literally nothing is flat. Not a challenge that I will take. Alright, anyways, let's head back to our base and do something productive. And we're back. So these chaos shards don't actually have a lot of uses. So yeah, we need a few to make some of the creative items, and we could make the fusion reactor, the Draconic Evolution fusion reactor, but I probably won't bother. I'll just save them for when we make the creatives. Oh boy, this takes a lot of them. Oh well. See, what was I going with that? We can also make I guess, a super duper mob spawner, but the mod spawner from what's this mod called? This one. Where did my tooltip go? From Industrial Foregoing is extremely good, so I don't think we need Draconic Evolution mob spawners this playthrough. So, that said, I think while we were fighting the dragon, we highlighted one issue. I can't use my wireless terminal everywhere yet. There is an item that lets us do that. Let's see, what is it called? The Infinity Booster. I tested this in Creative, and these Infinity Boosters are in consumed mode, I believe. So that means that each Infinity Booster only lasts like a couple seconds. I can demonstrate that with some of these that we get from our Wither farm. Withers drop these somewhere around 5% of the time, so it's a very rare drop out of Withers. I don't think they're supposed to, but anyways, you put these here, and when you do, something tells you how much infinity power you have. Somewhere. Maybe. There it is. When you hover over the infinity energy slot, it says 7k units. So that was from like a hair over 6, or that was a hair over a stack. So we see that it drains pretty quickly. That might actually be 1 a tick. I think that is 1 unit a tick. So like 7k units doesn't last a long time. So if we want to get a lot of these boosters, we can either craft them, but this recipe is it's a lot to ask for something that lasts, 20 to 30 seconds, 20 to 30 ticks. So instead, why don't we make a super wither farm? So before I had this wither farm, right, which, we spawned a wither every couple of seconds using our wither builder, but the bottleneck was that we had to supply it with, resources. We had to supply it with wither skeleton skulls and soul sand. I have an idea for a wither farm that doesn't take either. Oh, and by the way, our experience obelisk is full. So that's full, and there's a fair bit of EXP in our... Well, no, the vacuum is basically empty. But I may as well take a few levels with us and move these to the overworld pylon. One thing I need for the wither farm is a syringe full of wither essence. So I'm just going to spawn one out here in the middle of nowhere. Our base is that way somewhere. And poke him a few times with the syringe. Let's see how quickly we can take a wither down. That wasn't too bad, was it? Next, we need to head over to our dimlet workbench and make a wither dimlet. So this will tell the world that it is okay to spawn wither mobs. Kind of like the dragon one, except, you know, for withers. The next thing I need is a peace dimlet, which is made with this peace essence. It takes the essences of 9 different mob types. Most of these are pretty easy, except some require going to some pretty far off places, like on Mushroom Island. Actually, that's about the only one. So, craft one of these. So by using the peaceful dimlet with the wither dimlet, we can make it so that only withers spawn. But we don't want withers to spawn everywhere, so we don't want, you know, dark spots. To avoid that, I just want it to be always day. If we put a time absorber in about now, or put a time absorber down and give it a redstone signal at the time we want it to absorb, it should absorb the time, but it doesn't appear to be doing that. What am I doing wrong? Oh, okay, no, it looks like it was working. The totem doesn't change with Wayla until it's done. So I just need to leave it here, let it absorb noon for long enough, and then we can use it to make the always noon dimlet, I believe. I think the time absorber is limited to 20% progress per day, which is fine. If we want another day, we just skip to the next day. That is the power of Draconic Evolution. Oh, that's not what it is. That timeout value, I think, is the minimum number of ticks that have to pass before it can absorb any more progress. So now that the timeout, at least I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It doesn't seem to update until you place it and break it, though. I think the timeout only ticks while it's placed. So if I wait long enough, I think there were about 20 seconds left. So pretty soon I should be able to tick it and it'll go up to 40%. But I'm a very, very impatient person and this process is taking way too long. So backup plan, I'll just use a terrain void dimlet so that there's nothing for, there's no terrain for stuff to spawn on besides in our mob farm. It'll make for a more efficient mob farm anyways. Putting it all together in our dimlet inscriber. Let's see. First, specify, no terrain, no features, no structures, just so we don't get like villages randomly generating. And I think we want peaceful, then wither in that order. It's very different from wither and then peaceful. We can name it, store it, and here we go. So now we have to, ooh, that's a lot of power. All right, well, that's fine. Put this in here. It'll take it 2,000 ticks to generate, and then we can use it after that. Here I am in our brand new wither dimension. It looks pretty unassuming, being an entire void. However, any mob that spawns here will be a wither. So the plan is we'll make a cursed earth farm in here that only spawns withers. Alright, so the idea behind the farm is that each quadrant is covered by one of the mob grinders, and there's enough room in here to spawn withers, but they won't be able to fly high enough to get out of the mob grinder range. Last thing I have to do is set the shield to not allow light through, so that it'll be dark inside. And in fact, let's see if we get darkness spawns before I even bother putting down cursed earth. This farm, I know it used to work in version 1.7 of Minecraft. I have not tested it in version 1.12, so it's entirely possible that this is a bust. Doesn't look like we're getting darkness spawn, so let me come in here and make sure it's actually dark. I have perma night vision on, so let's see. Light level 0, that's as dark as it gets. I might need to make it 1 block taller, maybe? Well, instead of making it taller first, let's try putting the drop of evil here to see if we get cursed earth spawns. Okay, so we do get cursed earth spawns. I'm hoping that they don't grief the cursed earth. A little bit of it got, some of it is getting grief from them attacking it though. Alright, so I'm gonna need a way to automatically replace the dirt there. The fact that cursed earth spreads, I think will mean that cursed earth will, it'll regenerate itself. Well, actually, why don't I just protect the cursed earth with an RF tools let me walk a little further away so it's quieter. I can protect it with one of the RF tools blocks, right? Like a block protector, whatever it's called. Block protector. That seems like the exact type of block we want to use for this job. Anyways, while I wait for the withers to destroy all the cursed earth that's in there, we can see that this farm is producing infinity boosters. The hearts, the nether star, I guess the nether stars might be useful. Basically everything else is useless though. But infinity boosters. Alright, I tucked a couple block protectors down underneath here. Let's make sure they all have 156 blocks protected, just so I'm sure I didn't miss one. They're kind of a pain to configure because so you have to bind your wrench to it, and then you have to go right click every block individually. You can't select a range. But at this point it looks like they're all connected. Make sure they're all powered as well. Good. Looks good to me. Alright, let's drop another drop of evil. And notice we're basically out of infinity energy already. We started with what, 6,000, and now we're down to 1,500. So this should now start spawning withers. Hopefully the withers will no longer be able to kill the... And that does appear to... Wait, no, they got some of them. Looks like the block protector is unable to block against wither damage, unfortunately. Alright, well, that's fine. I still have backup plans. Let's let this run a bit so that all the blocks get destroyed though. I realized I was looking for all the complicated answers. I forgot the simple one. If I just claim the chunks, apparently that turns off... I don't know if it turns off all mob griefing, but at least it turns off the wither block breaking thing. So I had this idea where I would basically constantly replace the dirt with, new dirt as it got broken and let the cursed earth spread to it. But why do something complicated when you can do something simple? So now this farm is constantly generating all these things. All I have to do is pipe this to somewhere to, for storage, and we'll be good to go. All right, items are being sent back through the ender chest, storing them in the same drawer our quarry is storing items in. Our quarry right now is quarrying through Ice Kia for frozen stone, among other things. But despite the fact that, this is killing a lot of withers, only 1 in 20 withers drops a infinity booster. So, it doesn't produce a tremendous number of these. However, at the same time, we're not out of Wi-Fi range that often. Like here in this dimension we are, and, sometimes we're traveling to other dimensions, but most of the time we're in our base. So it should be enough to meet our demands. If we want to, for now, I'm not even bothering to harvest the essence from this because we have 2.1 billion essence from our other farms. But if we need it later for whatever unknown reason, it's here. So finally, a chunk loader to keep this loaded, and we can be on our way. At this point, our next major challenge, let's call it, will be to start making the creatives. So there's really 2 possible starting points. We can either do creative storage, which basically turns a drawer into a deep storage unit, or creative modifier. The creative modifier is more difficult by a significant amount because it takes corrupted base, which let's do a little counting. So 1 corrupted base per creative modifier. Death bases, that's 24. I think everything else here is relatively speaking not that bad. 24 death bases by 8 for death protection poppets. Just short of 200. That's just short of 200 Zaracium binders, and this is the hard part of the death protection poppet. 200 of these times 6, 1200 of these, times 6 again, 1200 times 6, 7200 Theracium. So when you make 7200, that's a bit over 100 stacks of this, right? And that it takes half I don't think it actually takes half a mana pool. I think this is zoomed in. But it takes a lot of mana, even if it's zoomed in 10x, right? That's 7200 divided by 10 divided by 2, 360 mana pools. And that's assuming this is zoomed in 10x. If it isn't, then that's 3,600 mana pools. But anyways, we also need 7,200 of these. Good thing is here, we actually get to divide by 2. So 7,200, 3,600 of these. And yeah, so we need a very robust way of making Zeracium. This is like easily an episode's worth of stuff, and we don't have that long left, so we'll do that next time. This time, let's do the easy one, and that is creative storage upgrade. So in here, 2 Botania runes easy, 2 large storage cells. I mean, they are what they are, right? We just have to craft them. An oak bookcase. This is a lot of stuff, but it's also a lot of easy stuff. The only challenge are these workshop bookcases, but our quarry has gotten 35 of them. They spawned like the buildings in Ischia. 35 might be enough to make us 1. We need 9. We're 1 short of making 2 even. It's a dire crafty crate. Whoa. This must be one of the new mods that was added. Wait a second. Does that mean, I guess it lets you do the extreme crafting recipes in Botania? That's really cool. Probably not going to do it because it's probably significantly harder than the auto extreme crafting. Maybe not. This recipe sucks. And this takes a neutronium compressor, which we won't be able to make for a while. Maybe we're going to, hold on. Hold your horses. Dire crafty crate. What does this take? Extreme crafting table and a crafty crate. I think I'm gonna have to learn how to use this thing. Okay, anyways, returning to what I was saying, besides this oak bookshelf, these storage singularities use quantum entangled singularities, which is a little annoying because these have to be made in world, but I mean, you only use 4 per, and we're gonna have to craft a handful of these over time, you know. Takes two creative storages to make a cache, and then I think from there, like we'll need multiple caches. Not there. Like we need a creative cache per neutron collector. We'll probably want a few of these at some point. Anyways, point is we're gonna have to be able to mass produce creative storage upgrades. But for now, let's just try to make one. Alright, so I handcrafted 1 oak creative bookcase. Again, this recipe isn't bad, just we can't craft these. So I used all the workshop bookcases we have, and now if I want more, I have to go either wait for the quarry or go, get some by hand. Anyways, we should be able to request one of these now, but there's a snag in that it requires reinforced strongboxes. However, we can't directly craft reinforced strongboxes. We can only craft the basic tier, and then to upgrade it, we have to right-click it with the reinforced upgrade kit. So first of all, can I make 100 if I wanted to? Yes. So I'm gonna have to build a system that can automatically, right-click those onto strongboxes for me because I don't want to do 100 by hand. So the recipe looks something like this. A basic strongbox plus a conversion kit makes a reinforced strongbox. Unfortunately, we can't just craft them together. There are some machines where you can just, I think generally speaking for the machines, you can just scrap the machine with a conversion kit and it'll upgrade it, but that doesn't apply to like all the tools, tanks, etc., etc. So we put that recipe in here and we should now be able to request strongboxes. Just to test it out, let's get 10. Sure, craft away. The materials get dumped in here. the regular strong boxes get sent here. Then the upgrade kits are sent to this mechanical user, which uses them on the strong boxes. It's taking a lot longer than I expected. But anyways, once it's upgraded, an annihilation plane should pick them up into the drawer. Basically, the drawer functions, as a filter. And then finally the results get sucked in via an import bus back into the main network to complete the craft. So this step's taking a bit longer than I want. Maybe I'll do something about it. Maybe I'll just deal with it. In any event, that's the auto crafting of strong boxes. I think it's actually fast enough because we don't use this very often. We'll only use the system, to craft like the creatives. So anyways, with that, let's see if we can make a creative storage upgrade. I expect we'll have all the ups. We don't have enough bronze plates of all things. All right, let me fix that real quick. The other problem is, our largest crafting CPU is 64K. This is almost 10 times that. So I'm going to have to build a bigger crafting CPU as well. All right, I made a super crafter, or at least a larger one, has 9 64K crafting storages. We can always make it bigger later. I'm sure we'll have to. But I think this is enough to craft one of these. Yep. 9 times 64K is apparently bigger than that number. Probably not by all that much, but let's look at the highlights here. What catches my eye? Nothing yet. 131,000 Certus quartz crystals. Alright. 32,000 logic processors. 163,000 redstone alloy ingots. These costs are high, but all the things that go into are automated. 32,000 1K crafting units, or 1K storage components. This will probably take a while just to actually craft. Out of curiosity, I want to check how many Certus quartz crystals I actually have. Oh, I have 700K. Okay. Because I think I'm storing them in a compacting drawer. One of these compacting drawers. But I guess I'm voiding them now because I'm over the limit. Anyways, let's go craft that creative. Can I make 2? No, I can't. Probably on account of... Oh, I don't have a second bookcase. Alright, whatever then. Let's start with 1. And go. Alright, so... That's what it says, 3 minutes. It continues to go up because I don't think... Yeah, it'll take well more than 3 minutes. Anyways, I'm going to let this craft a while. We'll see how long it actually takes. So in total, it took about 15 minutes to craft one of these. It's a little on the long side, but I'm not worried about it because, how often do I have to be like, well, I need 10 of these right now? Hopefully never, because that'll take 2.5 hours, so I can never have 10 of them right now. Anyways, with this, I think we are officially in the creative era. It's not really a creative item, like it doesn't even have a quest in the creative tab. It doesn't do anything creative, but it's here, and here we are. So I'm going to declare this as a start of the creative era. With that, let's wrap up this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.